and I also want to welcome you to the government scheme session. And today the scheme that we are covering, it is MSME innovative scheme. तो ये जो scheme थी आपकी recently it was in news, and that is why we are going to cover it. If you look at this particular news, that was on 29th of July 2024. So here there were what are the different innovations and different steps that have been taken in for the MSME sector. Those were mentioned, and here this particular scheme was also talked about. The name of the scheme, full name of the scheme is MSME innovative scheme. Then we have incubation, design and intellectual property rights. So this is the name of the full scheme. We are going to cover about it because it was in news. Details were given of this particular scheme. There were other information also that were present, as you can see above the scheme and below the scheme, but from our lecture point of view, this section is what we are going to cover. Okay, so we will understand about the scheme in a better manner, but before that, here's an announcement for all the aspirants who are preparing for central regulatory bodies. We have come up with one-stop solution guide to all the queries that you must be having regarding the organization you want to join. For example, if you want to know more about RBI, NABARD, SEBI, what is the role of these organizations, what is the hierarchical structure, what will be your role once you join the organization, all these information in detail has been mentioned. Along with that, all about the recruitment process, how many phases are there, what is the pattern of each phase, and all these things are mentioned. Apart from that, syllabus is also mentioned over here. Then we have previous year cutoff that will help you to understand the difficulty level of the examination. And at the end, we have given some steps that you can follow on your own if you're going for self preparation. That will definitely help you to boost up the preparation. Okay, so these were some of the information, and to download these e-guidebooks you can find the link in the description box below. And please keep in mind, it is for free, so do not miss the opportunity. Now let's talk about this particular scheme. Okay, as the name suggests, MSME innovative scheme. So simple to understand that we are focusing on MSME sector, and also we are focusing on the innovation part of it. देखो MSME में the full form of it is micro, small and medium enterprises. ठीक है, I hope a basic idea you must be having about MSME, right? यहाँ पे under this particular scheme, the government is trying to boost up the startups. Government is trying to boost up not only the startups, but yes, the research that can be done in the MSME sector to help them financially. Okay, once that is done, then the next part is about the design, right? Because see, design of any product, it should be attractive, the quality wise it should be good, right? And the product should be marketable, right? So to achieve that, there has to be research done, and then work has to be done on design. So for that also, that is also part of innovation, right? Innovatively, not only innovation means to make something from scratch, but yes, to present it in a innovative manner. That is what the government is trying to do in the under this particular scheme. And ultimately, very important factor is that if you have innovate something, or if you have created something, or you are presenting something in an innovative manner, so definitely it would be better if you have the IPR for that, intellectual property right. What does it mean? That the claim that the product has been made by you, the patent you have, and no other person can claim that particular product to be theirs, right? Because this will protect the right of the creator, of the innovator, right? So these things are very important. So to protect such rights, MSME innovative scheme is going to function. The launcher of the scheme was 2022, and the ministry is easier to understand. MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises की जो ministry है, that will be working, that will be taking care of this particular scheme. With what aim this particular scheme has been launched? ठीक है, तो देखो नाम पे ही लिखा हुआ है MSME innovative scheme. Simply here the government wants to focus to help the MSME sector in the innovation sector. Okay, so to ensure the support, government want to support, they want to ensure the support. How they can ensure it? By providing them with guidance, right? For example, I am working in an MSME sector and I am thinking of an innovation, but I need some guidance, right? So government is coming forward and government is going to provide with that guidance. Okay, then financial support also government is going to provide. Technical support is also there, right? For example, for something I need some technology, I need some tools, right? But I do not have currently, and those tools and those machines are very expensive that I cannot afford, right? So government can help me with that, and other things also, whatever that is required by MSME. For everything, government is going to ensure the support. कौन the support? Guidance wise, financial support wise, technical support wise, means overall support government is going to provide. अब इसमें when we are saying that financial support is also will be provided by the government, right? So there has to be one separate agency that will take care of everything. देखो overall तो Ministry of MSME is taking care of this particular scheme, right? However, there should be some agency that would be solely focusing on the financial support section. Okay, so for that SIDBI is going to be the fund manager. So please keep in mind, जो SIDBI है, that is going to be the fund manager for this particular scheme. ठीक है, eligible कौन है? Easier to understand, anybody like who is engaged in MSME sector. However, government says that they should be registered under Udyam portal, right? Because इससे क्या होगा? First of all देखो, Udyam portal में registration से MSME, when they are registered, government has a proper data of them, and on the other hand, MSME would also get to know about the other benefits that can be availed by the government, and even the government has separately, if they have come up with any new scheme which will benefit the MSME, government would have proper data to provide the benefits to the beneficiary. ठीक है, तो MSME who are registered under Udyam registration portal, again if you don't know about it, Udyam registration portal, here MSME they can register themselves and they can avail the various benefits that are being provided by the government. ठीक है, next, apart from that, because we talked about first factor, if you remember, we talked about research and development, we talked about the innovations in MSME sector, right? So definitely the startups or any individual innovator is there who has come up with any new product, who has invented a new product, or even the students. For example, देखो जैसे IITs, NITs, right? There, the students, especially from the engineering background, however, they can be from any background, biotechnology or any background, right? Food technology, etc., etc. But if I have to give you one example, for example, there is a BTech, any BTech college. There, any student is very enthusiastic, right? He has come up with a new innovation that might help MSME sector, right? So they want to be part of this particular. They can also be part of this particular scheme because they would be directly touching the first factor, the innovation that we talked about. ठीक है, तो जो incubation component है, basically देखो अभी आगे in further slide I will just show you that this particular scheme, MSME innovative scheme, it has three components. ठीक है, first talk about the innovation, that is your incubation component. Also, incubation means what? The starting point where you have a protection. When we come to the protection as a innovator, we are talking about proper guidance. We are talking about the initial time when you don't have tools, technology, guidance, financial support. So that is the incubation period time. ठीक है, second component of this MSME is design, okay, where we will focus on making it more marketable and quality wise better the product, and third being the IPR, where the rights of the innovator that will be protected. ठीक है, तो जो जैसे students हैं, कोई individual innovator है, they are not a part of MSME, they are not, they don't have any registered company under themselves or anything, they are just the innovator, individual innovator. They can also be part of the scheme, they can avail the various benefit under the incubation component. ठीक है, इसके अलावा if MSME they want to go for the design or IPR component, they can do so. ठीक है, तो all in all, MSME sector who are registered in the Udyam portal, and any even the startup, individual innovator, student who are not registered under somewhere, right, like anywhere, but they have the zeal and they have created something or they want to create something, they can also be part of this particular scheme. ठीक है, components की बात करें तो as I told you before, there are three components. Incubation component, majorly it talks about the nascent stage, the initial stage of research development, right? And all on the, like you can say, when you from scratch you are creating any product, that is the incubation. Next talk about the design talk about what the quality of the product, आपकी quality ध्यान में रखी जाती है, and also what will be the marketability of that particular product, that particular portion comes under the designs component. And third being the intellectual property right, as I said before, patent कराना है, copyright कराना है, right? You must have heard of this copyright, especially if you are using social media, YouTube, right? बोलते कि copyright strike आ गया. What does it mean? That when the registration has been done properly, if the copyright has been bought of any particular music or anything, right, then if somebody else is using it and getting getting profit of it, right, then the person who has the copyright, they can claim it. जैसे मान लो for example, many time it happens, if Bollywood industry, they would have to incorporate any song that is part of any album or maybe any Hollywood song, they have to buy the copyright so that they don't have to face any legal consequences afterwards. ठीक है, तो similarly whatever product that has been created, because देखो why especially this particular IPR component is important, because for example I am just a student, okay, and in my IIT lab I have created something, right? I don't have any power like social or financial power, I was just somebody who created something new, right? right? But what if when I and then gradually I decided to market it, or maybe I went to the different companies, right? And I said that okay, I've created this something, I need your help so that you can launch it under your name or something else, and I will get the royalty. For example, I went to the big companies. Now the big companies, they rejected my offer, but later on after 6 months, what I realized that they had created some, they are selling the same product which I went and proposed to them, but under their name. So what has happened with all my efforts, that I created something, I came up with something new, but I did not get the fruit of it, right? Somebody else, they just stole, they have stolen my idea, and now they are selling it, and I cannot do something against them because I don't have that much power, right? So to protect this right of the innovator, it is very important to for them to have these copyrights, trademark, patents, so that they can challenge anybody in future when with these documents that they had, ठीक है? तो ये तीनों कंपोनेंट अपने में ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. इंक्यूबेशन की अगर बात करें, व्हाई इज इट इंपॉर्टेंट? जो भी आपकी अनटैप्ड क्रिएटिविटी है, अगेन समथिंग फ्रॉम स्क्रैच, राइट? इंक्यूबेशन, अगेन इफ यू कीप इन माइंड, अ स्पेस, अ सेफ स्पेस that has been provided for your untapped creativities, the something that you're creating new, with the guidance, with the latest technologies, with the financial support, whatever that is required. अब कितना फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट मिलेगा, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू कीप इन माइंड, ठीक है? तो फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट अप टू, प्लीज कीप इन माइंड, up to, because that would depend on your idea. What is the idea? How much money is actually required? The financial assistance up to 25 lakh per idea will be provided. Up to, it can be 5 lakh, it can be 10 lakh, depending on what you want to create, but up to 5 lakh per idea can be provided under the scheme. Now you can see that I, as a student, it's a very relief for me to get 15 lakh, right? Or I, as an individual innovator, ठीक है? तो 15 lakh per idea will be provided. And for if for example you would be requiring relevant plants and machineries later on, then to execute that idea, in that case up to 1 crore rupees will be provided. अब ये ऐसे ही नहीं मिलेगा, proper check would be done of the idea, what are the like how it can benefit the citizens, or how it can help the world, right? All these things will be taken care of. ऐसे नहीं होगा that I just come up with the idea, even if it is doable, not doable, if it is required or not required, if it is actually solving the problem, that is also one thing that will be taken care of, that will be seen before granting the money, है ना? तो 15 lakh per idea, because देखो why it has been set idea, because you can't just come up with the idea and start to implement it. No, there are various steps that are there. First you have to do market research, right? Then you have to create a blueprint, then there will be various loopholes that will be there, you have to resolve that, right? And then you have to, again, you have to have done the market survey to check that it actually fits the need that is required in the market or not, right? So there is a lot of thing that happens. तो ये जो nascent seed stage होती है, it also costs a handsome sum to the innovator, ठीक है? तो 15 लाख पर idea, and then for plant and machineries 1 करोड़ तक का support provide किया जाएगा. Second is about design. So we have understood design is for the quality, for fit the marketability, ठीक है? तो जो जितने भी आपके इंडियन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर है, बिकॉज देखो दे कैन गेट द बेनिफिट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई हैव already created something, I am a manufacturer already, but if my designs were better, I could have better sales, right? So to encourage the Indian manufacturing unit also to come forward, ठीक है, to come to a common platform, जो design fraternity हमारी NIFT है, and all these like big institute of designs we have, right? All they can come together in a common platform, क्योंकि देखो ये जो NIFT and जो design experts होंगे, they will be the one who will be guiding this Indian manufacturing sector to come up with better design. And please keep in mind, when we talk about MSME, micro, small and medium enterprises, we are also talking about those the small enterprises, right, which are not very big, like जैसे आपके ये हिंदुस्तान लीवर हो गया, टाटा, these are very big, right? You know, these are very big companies. But जो आपके small level companies है, small scale companies है, they might not be much educated, or they might not have much idea that what design would attract the consumer. But if this design expert would come and they would teach these manufacturing sector that how they can improve improve the design, then it will benefit those MSME. Please keep in mind, whatever we are reading, please don't keep any big companies in your mind. They have their own experts, they have their ways to raise the fund. Here the government wants to promote the MSME sector, ठीक है, उनके लिए है, ठीक है. एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव सॉल्यूशन कैसे हो सकता है, ये सारी चीजें हैं जो क्या है डिजाइन कंपोनेंट के अंडर आएगी. फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट कितना है, फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट ध्यान रखना, फॉर डिजाइन प्रोजेक्ट कितना है, 40 लाख है, और स्टूडेंट प्रोजेक्ट के लिए कितना है, अप टू 25 लाख विल बी ग्रांटेड अंडर द पर्टिकुलर स्कीम. अभी तक हमने क्या देखा, अभी तक हमने इंक्यूबेशन में देखा था 15 लाख पर आइडिया एंड 1 करोड़ फॉर रेलेवेंट प्लांट एंड मशीन्स, ठीक है. इंक्यूबेशन में 15 लाख पर आइडिया एंड अप टू 15 lakh per idea, please keep in mind, up to 15 lakh, and up to 1 crore for relevant plant and machineries. Secondly, when we talked about design component, so we have understood up to 40 lakh for design project and 2.5 lakh for what, for the student project, ठीक है. एंड फाइनली इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट करंटली एंड स्पेशली इन इंडिया. इफ वी टॉक अबाउट IPR की जो अवेयरनेस है काफी कम है, राइट. सो टू एनहांस द अवेयरनेस सो दैट द राइट्स कैन बी प्रोटेक्टेड ऑफ द क्रिएटिव इंटेलेक्चुअल्स, ठीक है, उनके लिए ये है. और another thing why people they don't do much of the patents or they don't register themselves for the these intellectual property, right, that is the reason, because these are very costly, right. So one of the reason why people they don't have they don't come forward to डू पेटेंट ऑफ देयर प्रोडक्ट और ट्रेडमार्क और कॉपीराइट, जो भी अलग अलग टाइप के इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी हैं, आपके राइट्स जो हैं, दे कांट डू दैट बिकॉज दे आर वेरी एक्सपेंसिव. दैट इज वाई गवर्नमेंट हेल्प्स. जैसे मान लो फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस अप टू 5 लाख फॉर इंटरनेशनल पेटेंट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू वांट टू डू अ फॉरेन और इंटरनेशनल पेटेंट, यू रिक्वायर अ हैंडसम सम बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट इज हेल्पिंग विद अप टू 5 लाख. डिपेंड्स ऑन आपका प्रोडक्ट टू प्रोडक्ट होता है, बट देखो इट्स वेरी कॉस्टली, राइट. यू हैड स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ मनी इन रिसर्च, देन इन डिजाइनिंग. नाउ अगेन you cannot spend this much. That is why government to create enhance the awareness, government से कि हम provide करेंगे. Domestic patent हो तो up to 1 lakh rupees government is going to provide. GI registration is your geographical indication registration, right. If there is any product that is very unique or very special of a certain place, it gets a GI tag, है ना. जैसे आपकी नागालैंड की मिर्ची है, नागा मिर्ची है, ठीक है, that is a GI tag of that place, ठीक है. इसके अलावा आगरे का पेठा जैसे इट हैज गॉटन अ GI टैग, राइट. सो अलग अलग जगह के से GI टैग्स होते हैं, ठीक है. तो उसके लिए कितना, अप टू 2 लाख गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड, ठीक है. डिजाइन रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए 15,000 चाहिए. सोचो, इवन फॉर द डिजाइन रजिस्ट्रेशन देयर हैज टू बी दिस अमाउंट गिवन, ठीक है. और ट्रेडमार्क के लिए 10,000 रुपए तक का गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करेगी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ रीइंबर्समेंट. रीइंबर्समेंट मीन्स फर्स्ट द बेनिफिशियरी ओनली वुड हैव टू गिव द मनी, बट देन after that when they have gotten the right, they have gotten this intellectual property right, then they would share it with the government and then government is going to give them back the money. तो रीइंबर्समेंट वे में होगा. तो अभी तक हमने क्या क्या देखा, हमने देखा कि इंक्यूबेशन में 50 अप टू 15 लाख पर आइडिया देखा था एंड अप टू 1 करोड़ फॉर रेलेवेंट प्लांट्स एंड मशीनरीज. देन फॉर डिजाइन वी हैव सीन अप टू 40 लाख फॉर डिजाइन प्रोजेक्ट एंड 2.5 फॉर स्टूडेंट प्रोजेक्ट. इसके अलावा इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी में डिफरेंट केसेस थे. For domestic 1 lakh, for international up to 5 lakh, for GI registration up to 2 lakh. apart from that design के लिए कितना, design registration के लिए up to 15,000 and trademark के लिए up to 10,000 government is going to provide, ठीक है. implement कौन करेगा अब, तो देखो जैसे हमने समझा incubation, design and then we have seen IPR, तो कोई तो help करेगा ना. when we talked about that government is going to provide them with the guidance, then who is going to provide that. तो in case of incubation, ठीक है, जो आपकी institutes हैं, जैसे आपके बड़े बड़े institutes हैं, ठीक है, जैसे again IIT, NIT, all these big government institutes, they have one incubation center where the students they can explore their creativity and create something new, ठीक है. तो वहां से जो these host institute है, host institute means some institute they would volunteer that they are going to provide with this guidance, इसलिए host institutes लिखा है, ठीक है. जैसे technical institutes है, R&D organization है, they are going to help to incubate ideas, means to flourish these ideas. talking about design, so who are going to help, तो जो भी आपके डिजाइन एक्सपर्ट्स हैं फ्रॉम डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री, दे आर गोइंग टू हेल्प विद द MSME, दे आर गोइंग टू हेल्प MSME सेक्टर टू क्रिएट देयर products and to focus on the functionality as well. And finally, who is going to help, who is going to implement or provide the guidance regarding the IPR, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स, ठीक है. तो ये असिस्टेंस किसके थ्रू प्रोवाइड की जाएगी? थ्रू क्वालिफाइड लीगल एंड IPR प्रोफेशनल, सो दैट द कंज्यूमर और द बेनिफिशियरी अंडर दिस केस can get the proper information, the true information and the wholesome information. Only qualified legal and IPR professionals can help MSME or will help MSME under this particular implementation criteria of the MSME innovation scheme, so that their intellectual property rights, their rights for their intellectual property can be protected. ठीक है, बस इतना ही था. Again if you look at this scheme, तो again it talked about the this money वाला factor, कितना कितना पैसा उसमें लगता है. Apart from that, the basic idea कि objective क्या है, then financial assistance कितना कितना मिलेगा, the same thing we have seen. Again एक बार revise कर लेते हैं, because these this data has been mentioned in the news. Incubation में up to 15 lakh per idea, up to 1 crore जो relevant plant and machinery is required है. If somebody is getting confused, देखो plant का मतलब यहाँ पे the not the botany वाला plant मतलब आपका जो manufacturing unit है उसकी बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. डिजाइन अप टू 40 लाख फॉर डिजाइन प्रोजेक्ट, और स्टूडेंट के केस में 2.5 लाख था अप टू. इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट डिफरेंट है. डोमेस्टिक के लिए 1 लाख है, फॉरेन के लिए 5 लाख है, अप टू 5 लाख है. जीआई रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए अप टू 2 लाख है. फॉर डिजाइन अप टू 15,000 एंड फॉर ट्रेडमार्क अप टू 10,000 दिया जाएगा. सो दैट वाज ऑल अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम. क्लास टाइमिंग्स आर मंडे, वेंसडे एंड फ्राइडे 10 AM. Okay, thank you everybody for watching the session. You can join our Telegram channel to get the PDF of this and every lecture that we provide here on YouTube. And if you want me to cover any scheme, do let me know. I'll make a session on that. And all the very best for your examination. Okay, we'll meet again now on Friday 10 AM. Until then, all the very best for your examination, and thank you.